I was standing in a courthouse hallway holding a manila folder when his actual wife walked up and said, "You must be Adwoa. I've been trying to find you for 8 months. Before any of this happened, I had a good life. I'm Adwoa Mensah. I grew up in a Ghanaian household in Decatur, Georgia, the kind where your aunties knew your GPA and your business before you did. I worked hard for everything I had. A real career in healthcare admin, a one-bedroom apartment I was proud of, a community that showed up for me. I wasn't looking for someone to complete me. I just thought when love showed up, I'd recognize it. I was wrong about that. Darius came into my life at a Juneteenth cookout through people I trusted completely. That mattered to me. He wasn't a stranger off an app. He came with a reference, basically. He was thoughtful, emotionally intelligent, financially put together. He told me he'd been through a divorce 2 years prior and that it had humbled him. He said it like a man who'd done the work. I believed him because the people around him seemed to believe it too. That's the thing about a skilled liar. They build the set long before the curtain rises. The first crack was small enough to dismiss. Every time I brought up setting a wedding date, venues, timelines, the marriage license process, Darius found a reason to slow it down. He'd pivot to something warm and reasonable. Let's not let logistics steal the joy of this season. And I'd nod because it sounded mature. But it kept happening. 3 months of pivots. I started feeling like I was running toward a door that kept moving. I told myself I was being impatient. I told myself I was pressure testing a good man. I was half right. She called my work number on a Tuesday morning. She said her name was Renata, and she asked if I was engaged to Darius. When I said yes, there was this pause. Not shocked, almost relieved. And then she said, "He's still my husband. Legally. The divorce was never finalized." I hung up. My hands were shaking. I sat there for maybe 4 minutes just staring at the wall. Then I called her back. Because something in my gut said she wasn't calling to fight me. She was calling because she needed me to know. And she was right. Renata and I met in person 1 week later. She brought documentation from her attorney showing the divorce proceedings had lapsed. Darius had stopped responding to filings 18 months ago, right around the time he and I went exclusive. She believed it was deliberate. And then she showed me what I hadn't known. Darius worked as a paralegal. He understood exactly what he was doing when he let those proceedings die. He had handed me a separation agreement and let me assume it was final. He had built my whole future on a document that meant nothing. I didn't want to blow up his phone. I didn't want to scream at him. That would have felt good for about 10 minutes and accomplished nothing. What I wanted was for there to be a real consequence. Something that couldn't be smoothed over with charm. Renata's attorney explained that what Darius had done could constitute bigamy under Ohio law, and that his professional certification as a paralegal could be at risk given the fraudulent paperwork angle. So Renata and I made a plan. Methodical. Documented. We weren't going to give him a warning or a chance to spin it. We filed the bigamy complaint with the county prosecutor's office on a Wednesday morning. We also submitted a formal complaint to the Ohio Paralegal Association detailing the fraudulent use of legal documentation to deceive both a spouse and a fiancé. I walked into that courthouse feeling something I hadn't expected. Calm. Not numb. Calm. Renata and I barely spoke afterward. We didn't need to. We had done what needed to be done, and we had done it cleanly. There was a particular kind of power in that. 2 women who had every reason to fall apart, standing together in a marble hallway instead. I didn't watch it happen in real time, but I heard the outcome through Renata's attorney. Darius's paralegal certification was suspended pending a full ethics review, and it was not reinstated. The bigamy complaint moved forward and resulted in a formal finding. Renata's divorce was finalized with a financial judgment in her favor. The joint savings account Darius had convinced me to open, the one with $4,200 of my money in it, was frozen and then returned to me in full. He lost his career, his credibility, and the careful image he had spent years constructing, one by one. I moved back to Atlanta 4 months after all of it. I see a therapist every other Tuesday. Not because I'm broken, but because I'm serious about staying whole. What I keep coming back to is this. Renata and I never competed. We never blamed each other. We looked at the actual source of the damage and we pointed at it together. That's the thing Darius never anticipated, that the two women he had compartmentalized would ever find each other, let alone choose solidarity over shame. He built his whole scheme on keeping us separate, and that was his first and final mistake.
Like, subscribe, and comment your verdict below for more betrayal stories.